It was the girl I'd seen earlier.
Excuse me. Hello?
You!
Me what?
You're the guy in the desert!
And you're the girl with the corpse.
Okay, first of all, that guy was dead long before I got there. And second of all, it's your fault Big Steve stole my deed.
Lost your what? To who?
Do you realize how much potential trade you cost me?
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ugh. I trade. I'm a trader. Name's Ember.
What were you doing out there in the desert with that corpse?
Mister, are you looking to trade something or what?
Trade?
Trade, you know, tech, gadgets, knickknacks from the Gap or the city.
That's what I do. I collect stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff. Only, since you're interfering, let Big Steve fly off with my deed, it'll be a while before I can make proper trades again. Now excuse me.
What's a deet?
My DEET, man. DTT. Data transfer tool. DEET.
What's the deed for?
Duh, transferring data. That's what I was doing with that dead fella. Transferring his citizen ID for trading, yeah? You distracted me and Big Steve nabbed it and flew off. Like I said, thanks.
Who's Big Steve?
You see all these birds all over the place? Big Steve's the purple one, with a beak full of my DEET.
What do you trade?
Like I said, sometimes people from outside want stuff from the inside. Sometimes people from inside want stuff from the outside. Second one doesn't happen very often since inside's got, like, everything and free. But it happens.
Suppose a guy from outside wanted to get inside.
Ah, my most popular item. Until Big Steve took my DEET, that is.
Tell me about this deet.
Simple. I collect IDs and I use the DEET to swap them. At least I did, until Big Steve grabbed it.
What were you doing out there in the desert with that corpse?
I told you already, I was deeding his ID. Only now, Big Steve has my DEET and, ipso facto, the ID.
What's a U-chip?
It holds your identity, yeah? All your messages and likes and favourites and that. Everyone from the city has one. So, you want something or you want to get inside your house and you just, boop, and it just happens.
So are you digging that guy's U-chip out of his hand?
What? No! Data transfer. I told you. I cloned his ID data onto the DEET for later.
What happens later?
Well, you know, maybe someone doesn't want to be found. I do swapsies.
For a price?
Yeah.
Did you see a strange vehicle come through this way?
Strange? You mean like that stinky one there?
No. This one had legs.
Not seen anything like that. Maybe you didn't either, crazy guy.
I'm not crazy.
Sure you're not.
I just need to know if you've seen a missing kid come this way.
You're looking in the wrong place. Only boys around here are Pixel and Voxel, and the only thing they're missing is a few screws.
That's all for now. Thanks.
Anytime. Oh wait, no. Come back if you want to talk business.
For someone with a business interest in dead bodies, she seemed pretty normal. There was a strange smell. Voxel was hiding out in the makeshift den.
Hello, Voxel.
Shh. What?
My name is Foster. I've just got a few questions. I wanted to ask you if you've seen any monsters.
How do you know about the monster?
Truth is, I'm a monster hunter. I've been tracking a monster across the desert for days. I think he came through here, and I'm looking for someone brave enough to see it and live to tell the tale.
I saw it.
Can you describe it?
It was
big and beastie and it eats children, and I could hear the screaming, and it was fast and dark and silent.
Slow down, one thing at a time.
It was big, like a giant dog.
A giant dog? That sounds like what I'm after. Did you see any children?
No, but I heard them. I heard kids crying inside its tummy.
And where did it go?
It sneaked off into the city. After that, I got in here. No way am I gonna let it get me.
You've been in here for 2 days?
Still alive, aren't I?
Did you say you heard kids crying from inside the dog?
I think so. Sure sounded like that.
This giant dog, where did you see it?
I was playing buzzsaws and dynamos with Pixel. I won, and he was really cross. Then, in the night, I woke up. It was totally dark. I'd heard this sound, like feet padding along the road, big feet. And then I heard screams, children's screams. I ran over here and hid in my fort.
And you've been in here ever since?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Any ideas on getting into the city?
People go in and out of the main gate. Are you gonna go in there and kill it?
Sure am. That's what monster hunters do best. Then I'm gonna bring Milo and the other children back out.
You will? Oh, you better take this.
Thanks. What is it?
A firecracker. I was gonna use it to kill the monster, but you can have it.
What do I do with this firecracker?
I don't know. Throw it at the monster, but cover your ears.
Did anyone else see the dog?
I don't think so. No one believes it even exists. But you do, don't you? You believe me?
Don't worry, Voxel. I'm on the hunt. Bye.
Hey, you got anything to eat? I'm kinda hungry.
I could keep an eye out.
Mr. Hopsworth sometimes lets me have some of his lunch. He doesn't usually know that, though.
Ah, understood.
Voxel's giant dog sounded a lot like the stalker that had taken Milo. Now I was sure that the stalker had entered the city. There had to be a way in through the main gates. The smell of the Mini K was highly pungent.
Right. Hit the bumper.
These were not my best moves.
Hey, Wendell.
Managed to get those doors up.
Just about.
Did you, do the jig?
Sure did. You said it was essential.
That's right. Although, here's a funny thing. My wife never does the jig back at the farm. But it always seems to open for her. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Any ideas on how I can get into the city?
Aye, that's easy. You just need one small thing.
Great. What?
A truck.
What? Like yours?
No, not like mine. You want one that actually moves under its own power. That being said, you won't even get across the bridge without an authorized ID. Citizen's ID gets you all the way into the city, privileges and all. I've got ID, all right. but my power cell's empty. Long story short, I could drive in. If I could drive in.
I'll leave you be.
I'm fine with that.
The bridge seemed to be operated by some sort of hand scanner.
Error. Insufficient permission. Citizen ID required.
One particularly large and familiar bird stood out from the rest. The bird's beak looked especially vicious.
Come on, big fella.
The bird's beak looked especially vicious. The bird's beak looked especially vicious. It was Big Steve, and it still had Ember's teeth in its beak. There was something strange about the water, and there was an unmistakable smell of ozone. Up close, I could see the water was holographically concealing an electric fence? There was an electric fence back there. I wondered if it was live.
Ow!
I was shocked to discover that it was. No wonder the gangs kept clear of this death trap.
Come on, big fella.
A makeshift workbench had been set up. Its structural integrity seemed over-reliant on some old deflated tires.
Authorized citizen ID required.
Hi.
Hi again.
So this deed, pretty valuable, huh?
Oh, it's only a fundamental part of my enterprise.
And the ID that's on it?
You bet. That's a citizen's ID.
And that would grant access into the city?
You're a sharp one, ain't ya?
Guess what I just found?
A lot of nerve coming back here.
Nope. This.
What? My date? I'll have that.
Sure, but how about I give you the deed in exchange for the citizen ID that's on it?
The date for the ID, but
You wouldn't have it back if it weren't for me.
It wouldn't have been stolen if it weren't for you.
So we're even.
I suppose that's sort of fair.
Excellent. When do we start?
Have you got a U-chip?
Yes. My hand is still stinging.
Right then, let's get this over with, yeah? Pass me back my date, Follow me over to my workbench.
A makeshift workbench had been set up. Its structural integrity seemed over-reliant on some old deflated tires.
You ready to do this?
I'm not entirely sure what this is.
You want that citizen's ID, right?
Yeah. What do I need to do?
Cool. Just place your hand flat on the U-chip scanner. Over here on my workbench.
Like this?
Yeah, good enough. Let me just line up the laser. Oi, keep your hand still or you'll lose it.
Is this gonna hurt?
No more than getting the chip installed in the first place. Right, just transferring the ID now. You may feel a slight pinch. What was that?
That wasn't supposed to happen?
There it is again. Must be... nothing. It must be nothing. Looks like his name was Graham. A fun, upstanding citizen.
Graham. Got it.
Good luck, Citizen Graham.
At last I had a citizen ID. I hoped that this was going to be my key to getting into the city.
How can I help?
Error. U-chip firmware outdated. Authority for vehicular access denied.
The firmware on my U-chip was out of date. I realized that I'd been sold a dud by Ember.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go on.
There's a problem with this ID you gave me. I tried the bridge, but it wouldn't let me through. Apparently my U-chip is out of date.
Oh, right. They had to replace the hand scanner recently. Must be running on new firmware, much newer than the crappy U-chips from that old terminal.
What happened to the old hand scanner?
No idea. Why would you even ask that? I didn't take it. Shut up.
Either way, the ID you gave me doesn't work.
Hey, listen, guy. The ID is tip-top. It's your U-chip that's the problem. It's old. Like you.
Well, have you got any newer replacements?
Nuh-uh. That U-chip is in you now. It stays there. You'll need to run an update, but my guess is you can only do that inside the city.
And without the update, I can't get across the bridge. I appear to be at an impasse.
Yikes. Well, that ain't good. Could maybe hack the bridge, but... Nah. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Did you say hack?
Okay. So you know how everything here runs on Minos?
Minos? Surely that's not based off the old Link system.
That's right. When they upgraded, they dumped the old Link tech.
Smart shoes, smart toasters, smart light bulbs, smart fridges. Minos makes everything smart, smart, smart. Except the humans.
Anyway, you know how Hobbsworth is always pointing his scanner at stuff?
Yeah?
That's his Minos scanner. Minos scanners let guys without any smarts figure out how machines work. Old Hobbsworth has all kinds of safeguards so he can't mess things up more when they break. But with a few modifications...
Can you do more than just diagnose Minos machines?
Much more.
Could I borrow your hacker? Is that a no? Could I maybe trade you something for your hacker?
Honestly, probably not.
Okay, so if you won't trade me for that hacker, could you make me one?
For a price, and a whole lot of inconvenience.
What do you mean?
For starters, you need one of Hobbsworth's Minos scanners. You get me one of them, and then we can talk about next steps.
Any idea where I can get one of those scanners?
Dunno. They're ultra super tech, and only registered tradespeople are allowed them. Of course, Hobbsworth is a complete meatball and loses like 2 a week. He's probably got a spare one in his hut.
Catch you later.
Bye now.
Graham's ID was finally starting to get me places. The console seemed specialized. The power cell was completely wrecked. This had to be one of the scanners that Ember had talked about. I decided to borrow the scanner indefinitely. Me again. Can we talk some more?
Hi.
Food delivery for Mr. Voxel.
Oh, yes. One of Hobbsworth's city singers. Do you want my crusts?
You eat them. Warriors need their strength. Bye. Hi.
Hi again.
Guess what I've got?
Go on, surprise me.
A Minos scanner. Can you hack it into a hacker for me?
Maybe. Let's see what else you've got in that bag that might be worth my time, trouble, and effort.
How about a delicious mini K made with mostly real...
I heard that before. Not interested.
I don't know if you can use this, but how about this finger?
Okay, creepy. Let me take a look. Whoa. Okay, this is some serious kit. The micro actuators alone are worth a bundle.
So it's a deal then. You'll hack this scanner, and the finger is yours.
You betcha. Pleasure doing business with you. Meet me at my workbench when you're ready. All right, one Ember grade Minos hacker.
Thanks. So how do I use this thing?
You activate scan mode, obviously.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, well, that's the easy part. Now follow me. This is how I find hidden systems. They're all over the place. There you go. One just popped into range.
Okay, what do I do now?
Use the big button at the top. Duh. Right, so this here is a diagnostic view of Minos.
Looks like it runs the vending machine.
No kidding. See those task nodes? The darker ones?
Yeah?
Well, unlike Hobbsy's little vanilla scanner, my hacker can swap them round. So let's see how smart you are. Want to give me an infinite supply of spankles?
Nut roast sausages. Knock yourself out with a bite whilst they're fresh.
You did it! You're smarter than you look. Okay, apply the hack and you'll be good to go. All right, mate. Figure the rest out yourself. Oh, and try not to do anything too stupid, eh?
Apologies, but despite you being a valid user, we have decided to not dispense on this occasion.
At least I felt validated.
Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
The machine ejected a garish, beclowned can of soda labeled Spankles.
Warning. This entrance is strictly legal. All
Those guns look like they meant business.
Warning. Extreme measures will be taken against non-compliant pedestrians.
It was a grumpy-looking maintenance droid.
Excuse me?
Citizen Graham, you are not authorized for this area.
I was going to have to get used to being called Graham.
I just wanted to ask some questions.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm a 4YR droid. And 4YR droids are programmed to ask questions, not answer them.
You're not like that other droid across the bridge.
You mean 2CU? That little jumped up tin pop voice box. That's all she is.
And you're a better model?
Better, older, tougher, more reliable. Underneath this steel skin lies the beating heart of a 13.7 volt power cell.
Wow.
Old tech, you see. Tested. Solid. Whereas that flying volleyball over there runs on solar. Sun goes down, she's useless. But me, I can go all night long.
You mentioned a power cell?
Correct. I run off a 13.7 volt power cell.
Really? Would it fit in a truck?
It would fit in older models.
Like that truck over there?
Might do. Looks old enough.
Mind if I borrow your power cell?
But I would power down. Cease to exist.
That's taking a pretty pessimistic view.
Wouldn't you in my position?
Think of it as a well-earned retirement.
Sounds more like death.
Any ideas on where I can get one of your power cells?
Ah, sorry. Factory that made them and me shut down years ago.
What's beyond that door?
A corridor.
And after that?
The city.
Okay. And how do I get in?
You don't.
Why not?
Because you are a pedestrian. And doors do not open for pedestrians.
But they open for vehicles?
Yes, because it is a vehicle entrance.
Have you seen a boy called Milo?
Gaplander or citizen?
Gaplander.
All Gaplanders look the same to me.
He's quite young and about this tall?
Repeat, all Gaplanders look the same to me.
So you can't help me find Milo?
No.
Do you know anyone else that might be able to help?
You tried asking a human. They answer questions.
Depends what you're asking. 2CU looks a little newer than you.
That's right. Supposed to be more socially orientated. I'd like to see her try and fix a bent shaft.
Those guns sure look dangerous.
Ah, they're totally safe. Long as you follow Union City protocol.
And if you don't?
Death by disintegration.
Ouch. That's all for now.
Good.
charged power cell.
How's it going, Wendell?
Can't complain. Not like anybody'd listen if I did.
That's the spirit.
What's on your mind?
So all you need to get into the city is a charged power cell?
Like a cheese sandwich needs chutney.
Here, this should do the trick.
Is that a new power cell? Juiced up? You beautiful man. How did you do it?
Well, it all started with a dead man in the desert.
I'm gonna stop you there, chum. Any story that starts with a dead man is best kept to yourself.
Hey, any chance of a lift into the city?
Typical. No one ever does anything from the goodness of their heart these days.
I just figured that...
Oh, all right. Up in the back. You earned it.
You sure it's safe back here?
100%, lad.
I'll take your word for it.
Just watch out for me neck bursts. I've lost enough business already. As far as I can take you, I'm afraid. You can catch a monopod into the city from over there.
And where are you going?
Straight to cargo. Gotta get these babies.
Quarantined?
Distributed.
Thanks for the ride, Wendell. Maybe see you again.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
stalkers had come into the city. But looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the stalkers, and whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first.